Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Sharon Combs, and this is Knowledge or Nonsense. First off, thank you so much. Everyone, you guys have been rocking with us for a few years now, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a faithful audience. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for using the information that you receive here to improve our industry, to improve morale inside of the departments, and just to improve life, period, whether personally or professionally. Today, we are going to speak with one of our colleagues, one of the industry voices, and someone who has given their life to improving the process as well, personally and professionally. And I'm excited that we're going to be able to speak with her. You guys know what to do. Share this video. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube or followed us on LinkedIn, go ahead and hit that button now. No time like the present. Or I put it off. No time like the present. And yeah, if you have any questions or if there's something you want to know about, but you're uncomfortable putting it out in social media because those things live forever, feel free to text it to 214-717-5921. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you opportunity to share this video. While you're doing that, we're going to play our intro video. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Kyree Thomas, an amazing person. If you guys on LinkedIn, I know you've seen her. And we're going to find out some of the focus points of her journey, some amazing ones. She may share some that we hope we never have to go through. We don't know. That's what we're going to find out and getting to know more about people and our colleagues within this industry. So go ahead, guys, share the video, get ready, get your popcorn, your water, whatever you need, but you only have 20 seconds to do it. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Kyree Thomas.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. I'm so excited. Miss Thomas, man, I'm so excited to host you. I almost got it beside myself right there, but I'm so excited to host you, to have you on this platform. I know you have over 20 years working in, fast-paced hospital environments. I bet you've seen everything from, man, just everything. I bet you've seen quite a lot, but can you tell us a little about yourself, a little about where you are, who you are?
Absolutely.
Who you are? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So first I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so happy to be with you and to meet you and to be a part of this team and this podcast. So I am Kyree Thomas and I am the operation manager in sterile processing. I have been on this journey for, like you said, for some decades. And it has definitely been a journey of endurance, being able to just go through challenges and be successful, as well as lead a team. Like, it has been a journey. It's very rewarding. I started working in the hospital at the age of 14, being a candy striper, what they used to call them. So I used to work at the front desk, guiding people, and that's how I started healthcare. Like, I was in the education department, making files for the new nurses. And then I just slowly started working my way up to surgery. I've been in surgery since 2010. I started off as a surgical tech, and this is all the way in New York. Now I'm in Atlanta. So in New York, I was a surgical tech, and how I got into that field was all God, truly all God. I got a story to tell. I'm gonna tell you my story.
Come on, tell it.
So I was a nurse assistant in upstate New York. And I just graduated with my bachelor's in biology. And I just knew once I got my degree, because they said when you get your degree, you get more money. So I got my degree and I went to my boss and I said, here it is. Where's my money? And she was like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. She's like, you got to apply for the job. You got to interview for the job. And then you got to be offered the job. You just don't get the money. I'm like, well, that's not what they said. They said, when I get my degree, I'm going to get the increase. So I started to apply. I applied to all the jobs at that facility that I knew that was going to be a promotion for me. And the one job that interviewed me was an internship to be a surgical tech at that facility. And it was an amazing experience. So I was at a trauma hospital. I did from from cranies to OBGYN cases to vascular. Like I did so many cases that I scrubbed in, lots of traumas. It was a great experience, but I also worked out in SPD to help out for overtime. But I had no idea that was going to be my career moving forward. Like God had a plan, but I didn't see it at that time. He had a plan. So while I was a surgical tech at this facility, I also joined the military. So I'm Air National Guard. And I was a load master at the time, and I loved it. So I traveled the world, did training, relocated from that hospital. And when I relocated, there was no openings in the OR. And that's where my career, my full-time career started in sterile processing. I worked in sterile processing. I moved up very fast at that facility in leadership. And I gotta say too fast. And my team made sure it was too fast. I felt like at that time I was young. I was still learning a lot. So I really didn't know the tools that I know today. So during that experience was very humbling for myself. I was a leader, but I needed to learn a lot more. So I took the decision, a voluntary, to step down, relocate, get myself together to really understand what I wanted in this career, for what I wanted in life. And when I did that, that's when I relocated to Georgia. As I relocated to Georgia, I was a tech. I moved up as a supervisor, an educator, and now I'm a manager. And I got to say, this journey has been very rewarding, but not easy.
Oh, I have a couple of questions already just from that. Yeah, listen, simple never means easy. Sometimes people mix up the two.
I agree.
When you were, I definitely want to know about your leadership journey on the second time around, how you did that. But first, when you were working and you say you scrubbed into a lot of traumas, do you find that gave you more of a passion, not than anyone else, but just did it give you more of a passion because you were able to see the patients and see the realness of patients? Like these are uncles, aunts, moms, dads, sons.
Yes, it did.
Scrubbing into cases, did that give you did that anchor you differently? Just.
It sure did. So I have this one patient who came in during a motorcycle accident. And when he came in, his whole left arm, they degloved. His skin was pulled back, muscles pulled back. All you saw was his skeleton. His face reminded me of Terminator. Remember that movie Terminator? And
yes, when he met, yeah.
He looked, it was gone. His gums were moving back and forth. And your bones right here are really solid, but they were moving because he had so much trauma and impact to his body. So I watched him when he first came in, and I was terrified. I was like, ah! I was terrified, but I saw his journey from the end and saw that puzzle piece come together and how he looked when he left. So he still, you can tell he has some trauma, but nothing like when he came in. It was like, this is art. Like, this is the perfect science. And that gave me even more passion to learn more about this field. Just seeing what we do for patients. And people don't even know all the extent he went through. But he went through that journey and he looked much better than what he did. Like, they fixed that man. So stories like that give me that motivation. Like, we can do this. Let's do more of this. Let's help more people. And it's inspiring.
I think that's why often in SPD now, before you really had to advocate for it, but you see it more now where they're like, no, come watch a case. Come look at a case.
Yes.
Come see. These are people. And I think that's why I was asking that question, because seeing that it just would make a difference.
Right.
When you are sick of them, you knew it was an add-on yesterday. Why didn't you have it, now? But again, you have to look over the shoulder sometimes. You have to look over, not the shoulder of the person asking, but even over the shoulder of the add-on when you see it, to see where it's going. Right. Still, you want to improve the processes, but in that moment, if you get stuck looking at the person asking, you have to look over the shoulder, because someone's on the other end of that add-on.
Yes.
As frustrating. I'm not saying it's right, guys. I'm just saying sometimes, and that's in life too, sometimes you gotta look over the shoulder of what's right in front of you to remind you where you're going.
Exactly. Oh, that was good. Yes.
They still talking. Just lean. Then come back. Use a moment to reset. Yes. So okay. So that did help you. And that's an amazing story. I'm glad that I was concerned when you started telling. I was going to be like, oh, it might have been a first fatality. But no, you were able to see. So no matter how bad it looks, Girl, revamp. Let's work this thing out. Now
Yes.
is living life. Amen.
Yes. And to see how all the surgeons work together on this one patient, so many surgeons involved, it's the teamwork. Woo. Woo, what a
Wow.
blessing. Yeah.
Teamwork, teamwork. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to your journey. But
Okay.
so even that with teamwork, you've come up, you have a nice team. Did some of those things transfer? Do you find yourself, see, I already got off script because you said seeing the teamwork. Do you find yourself doing what you can to ensure the best teamwork and like,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yeah. So as a manager, it's very important to keep the morale with your team because once you have that morale up, they're going to produce a better quality of work. When the morale is low, they're trying to find every shortcut they can find. I don't want them finding shortcuts. Like I want to make sure I can provide that need that they may need, or that voice for them, or that ear when they need it. So for the team to build for the morale, the biggest thing is pay. They always want more money, but I can't quite give them more. Like I'm fighting for them, but I can't quite give them more. So what we do, we work with shifts. Well, we can't give you more money, but let's work on the 10-hour shifts. You can do 4 10s, and now you have 3 days off. They loved it. Okay, well, let's do employee of the month. They loved it. And we even have like a little morale board in our department. So when you walk in, you see all the kudos we give each other. And every month we upload it. So you can see, and all the other visitors can see how we feel about each other. Like stuff like that builds that team morale. And then we meet every
Oh,
Wednesday and Thursday to come together, share knowledge. Like it's a extended version of our family.
that is so good because that even sets the tone when other people come in.
Right.
This is how we speak to one another in here. We
Yeah.
uplift. Come on, come on. I
Mhm.
see that's challenging me to follow through because I was like, we need this whiteboard so we can just put all our wins because we're so solution oriented. That means you are working with things that need a solution. Sometimes you're so focused on that. And I was like, we need to put these wins up here. We're so accustomed to having them. We need visual reminders. And I
Yeah.
didn't follow through, but I'm going to now.
You're absolutely right. People got to see it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay, so that's how you got into sterile processing. I'm
Yes.
going to ask you about your leadership journey, but first I want to ask, so what made you want to be in leadership? Like, because
Mhm.
leadership has more internal, intrinsic, like, leadership is not for, it ain't for, to be slang, it ain't for everybody.
No,
Leadership is not as sexy as people think it is.
no. Uh-uh.
What made you say, I'm going to do it? I'm going to stand. I'm
Okay.
going to be visible.
Okay. So when I relocated from my hospital in upstate New York to another hospital in New York, and I went full time into sterile processing, I moved up into that and up into the ranks pretty fast. So I was a supervisor. During that experience, like I said, I wasn't ready for the role, as I learn now, but I was able to receive that role and learn a lot from it during that time. Um, but that experience with no support, I didn't like it. So when I relocated to Georgia, I was like, I don't want no parts of leadership. I just want to worry about myself. Leave me alone. I just need a peace of mind. I'm good. I am good. But when I got to Georgia, it's naturally me. It's just natural. So then when I'm in the field and I'm trying to troubleshoot, I love troubleshooting. And people saw that I love troubleshooting. It just naturally became who I was. And then it just started to call me. It just started to call me. Even though I'm like, no, I don't want it. A part of me was like, no, you need this. Because
Yeah.
I love to make change. I love to educate. I love to build a morale. And that was what was needed in the department that I was in. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try for it. And I got it. And sure enough, it's been like, no, this is what we need. And I want to make more changes. I want to make more improvements. I want to help out the next generation of techs. And it just kept me into the field since.
Wow. That that's amazing. And I have felt that. I have felt that I have felt that and stepped back.
Mm-hmm.
But the stepping back, it allowed me some healing time
Yes.
and some educational time because before I would just learn things and be like, okay, we've learned it, let's put it into place. This is how it should work. And then I learned to quit using the word should with people. Should is better for systems because people come from different places. But I clearly remember being like, I don't need this. Like,
right.
I don't need this. Like,
right.
yes. Like, that's okay. That's all right. Well, you get this much more money. That's all right. You keep it. All money ain't good money. I don't need it. I don't need it. Right. But I will say, like you said, it is just you. And if it's natural, then you're still, after a while, I still was frustrated. I was like, because why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? This would be a simpler approach, or this may be a better approach here. It's not the only way, as my friend would say, but it is a way. Let's try a different way. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so ultimately, it didn't free me from frustration. It just gave me a reprieve when I got freed from the frustration. And I still get it sometimes, but when I got freed from it being like, my ever-present partner was when I just let certain things go and been like, this is what we are. This is where we are in the process. And I began to realize that when people hire you and when you take on something, that honeymoon phase is real. They're not like, I'm lying to you. They really do believe with you coming, all these things will miraculously be okay. They don't know that there's a time process. And so that actually helped me. And I just like, oh, okay. On this side of life, this is what we're doing. This is our next mile marker. This is what we're working on, and, move forward. All right. So you're doing more in sterile processing. You are visible. Yes. Your second time around, no. Let's talk about some of the more enjoyable parts of SPD.
Okay.
For you.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, I want to go there, right? I do.
Yes.
Yes.
So some of the most enjoyable parts of SPD is mentoring people. Number one is being able to mentor people, or should I say number two? Because number one is saving patients. That's definitely number one, is being able to give our patients quality trays every single time. Number two is mentoring people, setting the tone, leading by example. Oh, I'm big with leading by example. If I say I'm going to be in decontam with you, we're going to decontam together. I said we short-staffed and we're going to do these trays together. Like, we're a team. I'm never too above the work. Like, I come from the work. Like, we're going to do this together. And my team sees that. Like, they know, oh, man. Now they say, we don't want you in decontam. You do too much work. Because I'm like, I got this. This is easy. But just having that bond with your team. When I had the ability, I used to have one-on-ones with each and every employee in my department to see how they ticked, to see what motivated them, to see what they want to do in life, just to build that rapport with them. Now I have not been able to do it so much because we got Joint Commission coming around, but I do plan on adding that back into my schedule of spending individual time with my employees because they matter. And when they feel like they matter, they're going to give so much more effort in their work. They're going to be able to communicate even more. And they now got people ready to do their next certification because they take pride in their work. So that stuff is all enjoyable to me.
All right. You love people.
I do.
You love people. I felt it. It came through. Yes. Okay. All right. I do want to go back to the question. The question I'd like to ask you, we're going to take a commercial first, but I want you to think about this.
Okay.
On the second round, when you said, you weren't ready for it, and then you came back and you mentioned that you started as a tech again. God, can I just say yay for that? Yay for that. You know how many people in life, not just in SPD, but would stay stuck about what they ain't gonna do? But and you came back as a tech. And so my question is, on the second round, what was different in how you perceived and looked at things? What were some differences? Because I know you encountered some of the same situations. So what was different in your perception of them and your approach to those things? What new tools even did you have? And I know that's a lot that I'm just asking you right there, but
I'm ready.
I really feel like those things will help individuals. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to play 2 short commercials. When we come back, I would like for us to talk about that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, and we're back. This is Knowledge or Nonsense, and I'm here. Fix my little camera here. We're here with Kyree Thomas, and we are learning so much about her. If you're going to be at HSPA in Vegas, by all means, come and check her out. She will be speaking. I think you're speaking on this Saturday. I believe you have like 3 slots. So, guys, when someone has that much time to invest in you, like you're going to come away with solid and applicable and actionable, like immediately actionable, like steps to help you improve. So do what you can do to be there in Vegas on that Saturday. I'll be there. I will definitely be in that room. And now I also will be in the room at Scrubball. So if you know somebody who is worthy or who has been a benefit to you, please, by all means, nominate them for the awards inside of Scrubball. You can go to scrubball.org. All right, Kyree. Okay. I want to know about this second round of Journey. Okay. I love to help people, and I just really sense that there's some value. All of this is valuable, but this, I think we should unlock this.
Okay. All right. So with second time around, what I learned from my first experience, humility. I would say in my first experience, being that it came so easy, I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And that wasn't the case. So second time around, I had to be humble. And when I was promoted from within the team as a tech. So that's already naturally hard, being from with your coworkers to now being above them and being their leadership. Some people don't receive that very well. So second time around, I made sure my very first meeting with my team, I reintroduced myself. So I said, all right, guys, we're going to start this day off. We had a huddle. And I said, now I'm taking off the employee that you remember me of, and now I'm going to show you this leader. But that doesn't mean I'm not who you remember. It just means that I'm a different level. But at the same time, I'm still your teammate. So I don't know everything. I told them, plain as day, I don't know it. I'm going to ask you guys for help and support. But while we're here today, we're going to make sure we learn as a team every single day. And that's how I started the rapport and the culture for my night shift team when I was in charge. And every day we had education. Every day we huddled. And when I needed help, I told them I was humble. I don't know this. Help me. I don't know everything. But second time around, I realized to depend more on my team because they're going to be the ones to help me through this storm. We're going to be doing this storm together. So I got to rely on that team. So I learned to trust my team the second time around. And you know what? That works. And trusting them and investing in them, it always pays off.
Oh, I'm so, yay. That trust right there. It's easier for me to trust. It's easy for me to trust, but after it's built up. But I'm telling you, like with how I call them baseline workers, when they just always want to do the minimum.
Yeah.
I have to one of the things I've learned to do, and I don't know, guys, this is just sometimes I'm telling you things that I know is best practice and studies show. I don't know if studies show this, but for me, I've learned that what I lack, someone on my team has. And so for the person who is always trying to do the least amount, I can't give them more of my time. I can't. Now somebody else really can. But for me, I believe the squeaky wheel, after I've given you oil a couple of times, that wheel needs to be replaced because now we put an undue strain on the other 3 wheels. And now instead of me replacing a wheel, I'm gonna have to do some rotors, some something, and all this other stuff.
Yes.
So I have other team members who have certain skill sets, like different levels of, super empathy, where I may be more operations, but
Yes.
I'll pull them in. I'll be like, hey, I know they're hard. I know their work ethic. Hey, can you give this person some time? Because for me, the time may be a lot shorter because I believe in patterns over promises. So the time may be a lot shorter, but I do want to give them the opportunity in case, for whatever reason, just the interaction with me rubs them wrong. Let's get some other things in here because it's team over me.
Yes.
So I have to pull on them that way, but I don't try to force myself. I used to try to force myself to be all, and I'm like, that's not my skill set. That's not my skill set.
Yes, it's draining to have that. That is draining to try to do it all. It's not possible.
But you know what? Okay, so and with leadership, a lot of people come into leadership thinking that I have to do it all. I cannot have any. I don't want to call them weak spots, but I'm everything, and it's frustrating. And then that's when you see like 6 to 8 months later, 6 to 8 months or up to 18 months, and they're like, I don't care. They're ready to step down, and now someone who has the true knowledge base that we need in this field has said, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah,
I'm all right. We need a supervisor. No, I'm cool. I'll just be this lead tech. I'll be a specialty tech. And they don't bring what they have. Girl, you have me. I'm in there. Right. I'm in there. You have me. Let me come back. So good. Humility. What I heard was humility. Yes. And reintroducing yourself to your team. So good. Good. All right. So how can CS Nation best support you and what you would like to see happen in our field? What is it?
Yeah. I believe CS Nation could help more by investing more into leaders. From my experience, there was never a formal training process or program that any institution I worked for provided for sterile processing. It's always been figure it out. So now I'm just boots on the ground figuring out, and I'm thankful that I have coworkers or mentors to rely on that can guide me through. But there's really no official process in a lot of facilities for sterile processing leadership. And it's its own unique entity. And no one is acknowledging this. Like this is hard if you don't have a support team. So in order to be successful, I believe that CS Nation can help more by just sharing these podcasts, getting the education out, and having more leaders on to give their background and experience and guidance on how to be more successful. And we need more books. We need some books. We need some guidance.
We have some for you, but yes, I truly believe that too. And I know that you're working with your team. I look forward to working with you. Hopefully we can work and partner even in other ways. But I'm big on that leadership training, soft skills, making sure you know how to be in the rooms that you're in, recognizing your audience. You can have the same topic. And I'm not talking about code switching for those of you who know what code switching is. But I've worked with leaders and they'll say, well, that doesn't sound like me. And one of the things I share within our program, and when I say it, I just pause. Oh, I'm going to say it even though we're on the podcast. But for the betterment of everyone, I'll say, well, why not? And then I pause. And a lot of times that leader will say, well, because I've never done that. And I say, oh, well, that's true, but you've also never been in this role. Like if I stopped everything because of how I was at 18, I'm not telling you don't get to keep that, but you can also add to that. And if medical terminology is part of that, or if operations language is a part of that, you have the right to be more. You don't. Yeah, I'm not trying to change anything about you, but you have the right to add to your toolbox.
Yes.
And they'll be like, well, that don't sound like me. That sounds like such and such. And it may be a director or another manager they're talking about. And I said, well, then why not? I mean, I'll never talk like that. And I said, you've never been in this role.
Right.
You've never had to oversee a budget. You've never talked with these different individuals. So you want to be able to speak in a way that your message lands.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I gotta give you your flowers because your book, Hold Your Form, ooh, that
You.
that provided the light in a lot of my darkness. Like, Kyree, hold your form. Like, you believe who you are, be confident who you are, and hold your form. Put that crown back on. You good? You
Yeah.
got this, queen. And I'm like, I thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm telling you, a lot of time. Thank thank you. Thank you. Remember we were talking, we was like, look over the shoulder. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes what you're addressing is a process. And just because we're human, when you address the process, somebody may feel defensive and they may try to address it personal. You have to stay on the process, and it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy.
It's not.
Yes, I'm so glad you're in leadership. I cannot.
Oh,
I'm so glad you're in leadership. And I
thank
just want to
you.
say thank you for being in leadership. I've seen some amazing people leave leadership because that lack of support and that lack of training. And it doesn't just hurt them, it hurts that facility, it hurts our industry,
Yeah.
because then the voices who are speaking are not the actual true voices that may have the best knowledge or the best experience.
Right.
They're just speaking. So
Yeah.
if you, who are some of your personal heroes, inspirational role models? Because you got to have them if you
I
want to be
do.
successful professionally. You got to have some personal heroes.
I do. I would say one of my professional heroes is my coordinator. Her name is Shamira Curry. She was on the podcast the other night, and I would say she's one of my professional heroes. And the reason why I say that is because before I became a manager, I was in an education role. So I was an educator of all these facilities. And watching how she was so resilient when I saw so many darts being thrown at her, and from an outsider looking in, I'm just like, she's not gonna last. She's not gonna last. They come at her hard. And every time she was resilient, every time she was stronger, she lasted.
Wow.
So then once I became manager and I became over her, now I'm watching her. Now we're tag team, and now we're the dynamic duo, and we're fighting together for our team. And it's the strength from her to keep me through those storms, like, because she's like, you got this, let's pray about it. And we'll send each other daily messages of just inspiration. Or now we meditate certain hours of the day to make sure that we prioritize that. And we prioritize our lunches now because we want to make sure that we're providing that fuel for our team, and we do
Come
it
on.
together. It's like, so I'll say her. She's a great mentor and a great role model for me. And sometimes she's like, hold on now, hold on, Tiger. Sometimes she has to reel me back in because I do get a little excited, and she has to reel me back in. I'm like, thank you for that, because I need that sometimes. Someone to check me to say, okay, let's not do it that way. Let's do it a different way.
Yeah. That's a way. Yes, yes.
Yes. I would say that some more role models. Can I say my team?
Yeah.
Can I say my
Yeah.
SPD
No,
team?
yeah. These are your role models.
I've seen my SPD team, they get me through that storm as well. Like when I'm feeling defeated, overwhelmed, and no one's hearing me, they're the ones to see me in the hallways. They put that smile back on your face. You got this. What happened to our happy Monday, Kyree? And they're checking me as well. Like, this is not you, happy Monday. Cause that's my thing. Happy Monday,
Oh
happy Tuesday.
man.
And my
Oh, I'm
team is the
gonna
one.
share.
Yes, like when I'm like, oh, and I'm in my head, like, yo, they're beating us. My team's like, no, we got this. Put that smile on. Guess what I did today, Kyree? And then they all share that love, and it's like, you got me. Y'all got me when y'all don't even know you got me, but you got me. So I'll say my team. My mom, definitely my mom. My mom is strong. She was in New York. She was a parole officer, a bounty hunter. So she was just a perfect example of strength. A single mom, but she still made it happen. And she also checks me. Like, all right, now let's reword it this way, baby girl. Or she gives me that reality check when I need it. Like, and I do need it. And as leaders, we need that. We need that reality check. We don't know it all. But those reality checks allows us to be better. And every day I strive to be better than yesterday.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Those are some great role models. And yes, you most definitely can say your team. And I just applaud. Can I give you your flowers? I am applauding that your team not only will check you like that, but you built a culture to where they're checking you toward the better thing.
Yeah.
They're not checking you to tear you down. Like they're checking to lift you up, you know?
Yeah.
And so I want to say kudos for that. I really like the way I really see like certain departments and workers, like they're really coming together like for the betterment, not coming together like just us against you.
Right.
But like, no, this is what we do.
Yes.
They're embracing that pride and professionalism. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep increasing visibility so we can have more of it, because it is a very integral, like it's a critical department.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Like what you do every day impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
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 Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't care how small someone tries to make it from back in the day. That was ignorant speaking. We're here. It's 2024. Every day. Technology is changing, the robotics, everything. Listen, there's a knowledge base you have to have even to be able to operate within this space 8 hours or 10 hours a day.
Yes.
So, flowers to you and your team. And I thank you for it, for pouring into them, because pouring into them actually is allowing them to even pour back into you. It's a great circle.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the other circles you may have seen coming in when it was like me against you. And we call those cycles.
Yeah.
When it's positive, we like, oh, I got a circle of trust. And when it's negative, we like, oh, that's a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Circle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So can I share another way that I motivate my team?
Yes, please do.
So in each shift, we have supervisors, we have lead tags, we have some quality specialists that check for our quality and our trays and our processes. So what we do every Friday, okay, so my leadership team and I, we create a PowerPoint and we review the PowerPoint I've used to this PowerPoint. And then we deliver this PowerPoint every Friday to our team. So every month is a different topic. And these topics are chosen by either new education we've given, so we want to make sure that they didn't forget, or the newbies received it, or problematic issues. If we're having cement issue or bioburden issues, that's going to be the education. And we're going to give this education every single Friday of this month. But it's not going to be the same presenter. It's going to be a different leader every time. So now I'm building up my leadership and being confident to speaking to these processes, while my team is receiving this message from different people, because people receive different messages from different people. So I'm giving them a variety of different speakers, same knowledge, so we can work on those problems as a team. And it's working. It's working. The morale is amazing. So that's another example that we do. And it builds my team's morale, even my leadership team. They were nervous, but they understand the purpose now. Like, we got it. We speak confidently to it. Like, and their pride. I see the pride in them. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I can do it. UCDI, you can do it. That's all it means. I love it. It's that simple. That's all it means. I love that. I love that practice. I love that getting comfortable with explaining and getting comfortable with sharing knowledge.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. And that's such practice. Listen, that's not to be understated. Sometimes people are like, well, I have to do this. No, listen, that's a good thing, guys. So if you have to go somewhere else, or maybe you have the phone one day and they're calling you up into the room, you know how to speak. You know how to do it. You know how to speak. You know how to articulate. Yes. You know what you know.
Yes.
You know what you know. This is what you do every day. You know what you know.
Yep.
And you allowing them to present it is getting them practice speaking it to people who may not know what you know, but they need to be confident in your competence. And you can't just say, because I told you so.
Yes.
You have to be able to communicate. That's so good. That's so good. Yay for your team.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm glad you had that second time around.
You know what? Me too.
I'm glad you had this.
Me too. Because at first I was like, I am done. But you're right. Me too.
Yeah. I don't have to do this. I can eat, yes, but there's more to life than just eating, guys.
Yeah.
There's more to life than eating. Isn't it funny how, like, initially, and I can't say for you, but initially when we're getting into a field, that's our first thing. Where the money at? Where's the money residing? Eating. We're driven by things that aren't always, I want to truly help or truly serve.
Right.
And the more experience and knowledge and wisdom you get, I call it being on this side of life. You're like, no,
there's more.
There's more. And the more holds weight. It holds weight. I heard a gentleman say it has to do with what we're talking about, but it's not about healthcare.
Okay.
And he was talking about people who were successful in the arts industry, like rappers and things like that. And he said, has it ever occurred to you that some of your favorite rappers aren't happy? And I was like, because I think like this, but I'd never heard someone speaking to rap. He's like, they're not happy. They have all the money and all this stuff, but a lot of them aren't happy. And he was basically saying, you have to tap into who you are first. So you can, so that, you know, if you think it's just that, then you're not, he's like, they're not happy. He says, so you do have to tap into you, into that there's more part. Yeah. Because that's where there's more to it. That's what I'm saying.
I absolutely agree.
Let me see if I have anything. I definitely want you to be able to say, if you could say anything to new individuals, what would it be? But before we ask that, is there anything you'd like to share? As we've been talking, is there something that you just...
I think it's important for us at any level of our career in sterile processing to make sure that we are leading by example at any level. It doesn't just stop once you get a promotion, or it doesn't just stop if you're just a tech, not even just a tech's important. But it's important that in any phase you lead by example, because that's what I did. As a tech, I got every certification I could. I didn't get any reward for it. I didn't get any increase in money. It came out of pocket, but so what? I wanted that education. I wanted to know the more why behind what I was doing. So I invested more in myself, and it paid off. So for all the newbies, I say absorb the information, but as well as lead by example, because you never know who's watching. And that's going to be important in your career field, because those who are watching will be those same ones rooting for you and pushing up that career ladder.
All right. Okay. Well, that was actually the question that I was going to ask.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I do want to give a shout out to someone who's in our field. I'm going to put our information up there. Joanne Richardson, we call her Star, but she does have Bright Star Apparel. And a lot of people don't know, but she sends things out sometimes, even when people haven't purchased them. But she has volunteered even some of her skill sets and her products. So I always want to give her, if you're looking for anything from t-shirts to mugs to socks, dominoes, cards, whatever it is, and you want maybe some of your imagery on it or your logos on it, you want to do it as giveaways, please reach out to Bright Star Apparel. I want to say kudos to her. Kyree, I want to thank you so much for just coming on the show. Again, I see you on LinkedIn. Guys, connect with Kyree on LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, I would ask why. Why? It doesn't take that long. And if you're like, well, I don't have time to be on there every day. No one does. Right? But we have amazing technology that will allow us to schedule posts. And even if you're not on every day, you can develop relationships. One of the coolest things I think about LinkedIn is a brand called Beyond Clean. So there was a gentleman named Hank Balch, and he was on LinkedIn, but he met his business partner on LinkedIn. That's how they met. And look at Beyond Clean. And so you never know what's on the other side of a handshake, even a virtual one. Connect with individuals. This is about your network, your sphere of influence. It is not about just, well, I don't have time to be showing pictures of what I ate that day. That's not what LinkedIn is. Right. And I get no money from LinkedIn. They're not paying me for that at all. But I know I have had some bona fide, credible business relationships and opportunities inside of the department and outside of the department because of LinkedIn. So guys, get on LinkedIn, connect with Kyree on LinkedIn. And you're right, one of your role models, I was really inspired listening to her on the Time to Talk podcast with Kenneth Campbell. Yeah. I was like, okay. And so that's amazing. All I have. She is amazing. She is amazing. And I'm always encouraged and inspired when I see people and get to talk to people in this field. This is an amazing field. I love SPD.
It is.
I love the people of SPD. They're making it happen.
So resilient.
More with less. Yes. Okay. Resilient. We said same thing, different ways. They are doing more with less. I'll listen.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing. Supporting huge volumes.
Yeah.
With less. So yeah, That's all we have for today. I want to say thanks again to all of our sponsors. Thank you to SIPS Consults for being a sponsor. Kudos to Time to Talk. Thank you to RST Automation, who is actually sponsoring Time to Talk during this season. So we definitely want to mention your name, give you your flowers. Thank you for supporting the industry and the people of the industry. We really appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time here on Knowledge and Nonsense. And thank you so much. Talk to you all soon.
Scrub-All is all about celebrating healthcare. If you're in the healthcare field, no matter where you work, we celebrate you.